Welcome to episode 17 of Sweet Drumming with me, Seb Sweet. We're going to look into some double bass drumming today. So a good way to get started, we're going to get straight into it. A good way to get started with double bass drumming is learn to lock your right foot in with your quarter note pulse. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like when you're playing 16th notes with your hands. Let's accent, or at least lock in, if we're not accenting, lock in with that quarter note. What that's going to do is that's going to anchor your left foot to spend time with it. So if we up that to 8 notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, we can then get the left foot involved. Again, I take the same outlook, I take the same view of double bass drumming as I do with when I'm playing the drums up here as well. It's the hot stove method. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on here previously, but the idea being that we're treating the surface like it's a hot stove, it's too hot to touch. You know. We're playing away from the drum, we're playing up in this area up here. So it's the same with the kick drums. Some people like to bury. They like to really bury it into the head. I always found it choked a real drum, and it can sometimes, for me personally, it could generate a bit of. I can end up doubling up and making just hitting the drum too much basically. So I learned to come straight off. So it's same thing. Again, a similar kind of inch or two resting position, just above the drum. Same with the kick. I'm not going to get a camera down there today because I can't be bothered, but it's the same thing. You hit the kick, you're coming away and you're sitting it about, 2 inch, 3 inch away from the head, and I'm resting on the ball of my foot. It's the same thing when we're playing the faster double kicks. We're coming straight off. We're not burying it. We're letting the pedal bounce. So yeah, just keep. Once you've got that motion in play, that 16th note motion, just keep practicing it. Keep going. It's a bit boring, but let's add a beat. And just keep going round and just keep practicing that 16th note pattern and get your feet used to it, get it warmed up, get the stamina built up. A lot of issues, people don't practice it enough and they start playing, their favourite Pantera and Metallica songs, and they get halfway through and they realise all their ankles are hurting and all the legs are hurting, all the muscles are going, and they're losing the stability, they're losing the rhythm. You end up becoming really disorientated with it after a while. So it's the cardio, the practice, the 3 Ps, practice, practice, practice. There is no substitute for spending some time. You don't even have to be on your kit. You can just practice wherever you are. Just getting that motion in play. Obviously, you want to practice with the pedals because you want to learn to expect. Everyone's pedals are different. Everyone sets the pedals up completely differently. So work out where it's comfortable for you, whether you want highly taut springs or loose springs, whether you want it to be quite a lot of travel or near to the skin. It's what works for you. So have a play about with it, experiment, but get that nice rhythm in there. And lock that quarter note in. Exactly the same idea as what you've been doing with your hands. Once you've locked that rhythm in, it should be easy to go into it at any point. If you want to bring double bass drum playing into your regular playing straight away, I'd start by adding some small things. So when I was playing single bass drum pedal all those years ago before I discovered the joys, if we'd get to I don't know, out of a middle 8 and back into a chorus, I'd go, yeah, or something along those lines. What I started doing when we got to those kind of areas in songs, I'd start putting an extra kick in there. I'd start trying to go, instead of just going, I'd get the second in there. And that was a nice little way just to get the left foot coming in and doing something on a regular basis. And then adding other things like a little triplet at the beginning of a bar, say. Learn those just getting little things nice and tight so that you can start including it in your playing. Something else that's nice to do with double bass drumming is to include your splashes. So there's a couple of Colliver songs where actually I'll go and actually hit the little splashes at the same time as the kicks. So you go. I need to warm up, but yeah, when you get that really tight guitar thing picking and you really need to try and stick with it, and you've got a bit where it's like did it. It's nice just to get little things like that in and follow what's happening in the music. And it just pushes it in an interesting and creative way. Speaking of Colliers, actually, I think I mentioned them. Once you're more comfortable with the double bass drumming and you've got some stamina up and you've built some speed up, don't go too fast too quickly, just build up. So, set yourself some targets. So set a BPM on your metronome. And just start off with a nice, look, so what we've got here. So I've got 102 BPM here, so there we go. And then up it, every week, just pop it up a couple of BPM and just keep doing it. Keep upping it and keep upping it. And before you know it, sooner or later you would play nice, quick, smooth double bass drum parts. So yeah, the Colliers thing, that's where I was. So with Colliers, Steve Platt's a really ingenious writer of rhythms. And he knows exactly where the drums should follow and where they shouldn't. And there's a particularly interesting song off the first album called The Hunted. So there's three basic... There's an extra bit at the end as well, but there's three essential, well, in which case we'll call it, there's four basic drum parts to this song. It's the chorus that I'm interested in, but I'll show you all of them anyway. So it opens up. There's the main riff, which is. Then there's the verse section, which comes in as a. Right, which it goes back and forth between those two parts. Then it comes into the chorus. Now the chorus is a really cool rhythm, and the double bass drum part follows the guitar part really, really closely, and it's a very angular, awkward rhythm. So it took me a while to get it. I had to actually have Steve come in and kind of break it down a bit closely for me because I was missing it. Aside from the fact that I was having to play way beyond my abilities at the time. I just couldn't get this part, so it was a really interesting one to break down. I'll play it for you now. And as you can tell, I'm a little out of practice. It's an awkward part to play and get it accurate every time. I think I got it right once there. So broken down, it's just, we'll just mute that a little bit. So straight away we've got these gaps in the rhythm, which are awkward. I mean, when I'm just trying to play it slow for you now, is harder than playing it up to speed. There's so much more thinking time involved in between the beats for me to make a mistake. Remember, the top kit for this is just a straight. If I can kick with a holding stick, it's just a straight. The top kit should be dead easy. See how awkward it is? It's like... It's that offbeat on the second bar in. And then I mess the top kit up. This is why I'm out of practice. Gemma, Steve, get off tour. We need to do something because I need to get back onto this. Let's try it again. Up to speed. I'll try and slow it down and then bring it back up again. So hard when you slow it down. I do apologise for you listening to me just utterly trash this beat, but I'm out of practice and this is good practice for me, and it's also hopefully interesting for you to watch. I don't know, but this just goes to prove no matter how good people think you are, and I've been praised my entire life for drumming, but you're only as good as your last performance. The next time you play you could be utterly terrible, and I'm being terrible today. I tried playing a playthrough earlier on couldn't do it at all. Might try again afterwards. Let's just try this again. Got a bit better towards the end now. I was a bit happier with that when the pad triggers. So yeah, double bass drumming. It is a lot of fun when you start getting into it, and when you start thinking about different rhythms and different things you can play and different ways you can use it. It's not all just fast 16ths. It can be interesting, intricate little bits as well, and just following the rhythms of the band and the song, and just serving the song as well. I mean, there's a great bit in Fear of the Fall, which is also Colobus, where it goes into the guitar solo. It comes out of the main riff, which is obviously the... Try that again. Again, out of practice, but you hear where we're going with that. It's all the different ways you can play about with it. I mean, again, I'm trying to think of all the Colobus songs I used to play. I mean, you know, what was it? The verse part for Hold Fire. I mean, forget the main riff section, which has got that angular offbeat bass drum bit. Which is awkward enough in itself. You get to the verse, you know, let's try that again. Never mind that the main riff, which has got that weird offbeat angular kind of riff, which is the bit. It's got the verse part, which when it comes down, when it breaks down into it, I've got to go with this crazy little drum fill. Amongst other things, and it's this constant it's quite, I mean, you could try playing it with one leg, but for me it flowed better with two, and you're already there, so when the next section comes in, you're already there, you're ready to go, which is again another great. So yeah, have some fun playing with your double bass drums. Just build up that quarter note anchor. Make sure you're hitting that every time, no matter what, even when you're playing the short stuff. Whichever your leading foot is, whether it's your right or your left, make that the anchor that everything else follows and flows through. And then you can have fun with it and just play about with some different rhythms. Some of them are really tricky, as with the Hunted. You watch me trying to relearn that literally live. I've not played that in years. So there you go. Have some fun with double bass drum parts, and I will see you next week. Take care. Thanks, guys.